Hey Lions fans, Brad B here for another St. Leo Athletics Virtual Senior Day. I'm joined by head coach Caitlin Hansen, assistant coach Ali Modica, the entire women's lacrosse team, Tim Simpson and Christy Lear. Today we look at the women's lacrosse team and 5 seniors who quickly shifted the course of the program. This group of 5 is made up of 3 four-year members as well as 2 transfers. They, along with the rest of their teammates, have demanded national attention, cracking into the IWLCA top 25 last year, which was the first time in program history. They helped set a program record with 13 wins in a season, which was also a 13 straight win mark last year. Among this group was an offensive and defensive All-SSC first team selection, as well as all-region honorees. Without further ado, let's take a look at each one individually. Our first senior is an attacker from Syracuse, New York. She transferred to St. Leo for the last 2 seasons, and without hesitation, she had some fun finding the back of the net. This 2-year starter donned the green and gold in 24 games, scoring 61 goals and dished out 25 assists for a total of 86 career points. Of her 122 shots, 93 landed on frame for a dangerous .760 shot on goal percentage. Ladies and gentlemen, number 1, Janae DeLuca. Our next senior is a defender from Syracuse, New York. She's an All-South Region second team selection as well as an SSC team member who led the Lions defense and possession efforts for the last 2 seasons. In 24 games played, she tallied 93 draw controls, caused 38 turnovers, and scooped up 74 ground balls. Ladies and gentlemen, number 10, Ashley Salvette. Our next senior is an attacker from Plantation, Florida. Over the past 4 seasons, this senior has played in 21 games where she's netted 4 goals and notched 4 assists for 8 points. Ladies and gentlemen, number 12, Sydney Drummings. This midfielder from Wilmington, Delaware, was a 4-year member for the Lions and started in 42 of her 55 games. During that time, she was named All-SSC second team for her work during the 2019 season. On the pitch, she racked up 165 draw controls, caused 67 turnovers, and picked up 116 ground balls. Offensively, she tallied 68 goals and had 8 assists for 76 career points. Ladies and gentlemen, number 21, Delaney Crisco. And our final senior of this virtual senior day is a goalkeeper from Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. She saw 50 games of action between the pipes with 35 starts for 1,951 minutes of action. Overall, she had 308 saves, 35 caused turnovers, and 109 ground balls, despite her normal position in the cage. Last year, she found the back of the net for a goal against Lee before she was named a 2019 All-SSC second team selection. Ladies and gentlemen, number 30, Erin Davis. Now I'll turn it over to Manager of Athletic Communications and Lacrosse Contact, Christy Lear, for our questions and answers segment with the 2020 Women's Lacrosse Seniors. Christy?
Thanks, Brad. I'm honored to be here tonight in this new senior day and fun segment to talk and get to know more details about each of you. Our first question, I'll ask Sydney, why is St. Leo Lacrosse so special to you?
St. Leo Lacrosse is so special to me. They are all about the core values that St. Leo has, and it's a family away from home, but home is still close by.
Is there a moment that you knew that you wanted to go to St. Leo and become a Lion?
Yeah, when I saw the campus, I think that's what totally did it for me. It was beautiful, and being in Florida. Nothing can beat that. And also just hearing from Coach, and she kind of convinced us to come.
Yeah. Ashley, what about you?
I totally agree. I'm like the same way. It was the campus, and just once I got in the Florida atmosphere, that's what I love the most.
And Delaney, we'll go to you.
I have to say campus again, too. My official visit was being thrown around with a bunch of the different freshmen and sophomores and juniors. So I got to meet every single person on campus, but I just remember specifically walking with Abby Ross she graduated a couple years ago, and her speaking on the midfield aspect was kind of solidifying my decision since I was going to be just the lone midfielder for my grade.
And Sydney, Aaron, you're both in the same screen. Aaron, let's hear from you.
Okay, I
when I met the team on my recruiting trip, and then when I was able to come back down, me and Delaney came down together, and we were able to bond with the team and see all the kind of people that I was going to be spending the next 4 years with. That's what really sold it for me. Sydney?
I mean, coming to the campus, I was a late recruit, so it was about April. So Emily Pittenger, she was a main influence on why I came. She was an attacker, and she sold it for me.
Thanks. Janae, this next one's for you. As a transfer, how did this team and coaching staff help you transition so quickly into becoming a St. Leo Lion?
Honestly, I think that it was a really easy transition. Definitely coach helped with all of that and the teammates as well. And I don't regret going to St. Leo at all.
Cool. Ashley, you also transferred to St. Leo. What was it like to adjust to a whole new defensive line?
It wasn't really difficult at all because everyone who I played with, they are used to the way they did it at campus. So it was kind of wasn't that hard, really.
Great. Now, both of you are from New York. Therefore, I'm assuming that you've only played lacrosse in the Northeast up until transferring to St. Leo. What are some of your favorite things about playing in the South region and specifically in Florida? So we'll keep the same order. Janae?
I think the weather really helps. You don't have to play in snow and stuff. Honestly, I just think that the weather really did it. Yeah, I think.
For me, I'd say the competition. I thought it was it was different from how it is up here, but yet again, it was, I don't know. I think the competition would be the different thing.
I'd like to ask this next question to everyone, but starting with Delaney. What does it mean to you to be part of a team that pivoted the program's history and found a lot of exciting success?
Well, I mean, it's really exciting to be one of the three originals coming from the all 4 years, kind of making the adjustments along the year with different recruiting classes, from having 3 recruited and a walk-on coming in with Hope and Emma's grade to having an actual class the past 2 years. So that's really exciting, and it's definitely been pushing me to be better. And I always ask them to go on the field with me or to have the runs. So it's excited to see that just on a practice level, but also seeing it on a competition level for our conference, just because, I mean, Claire Swanson and Hannah Ashton, all the other girls, I knew of Hannah coming in. So it's kind of exciting to butt heads with a little bit of them and see kind of what we can do over the next 4 years. So I'm happy that we were the senior class to have some of the most wins and end up in the top ranking. So that was really exciting.
Erin, how about for you?
I thought it was being part of that team and part of this team now. It was nice to see the transition from our freshman year to now, the difference in the team, as we've built for as long as, Coach Hanson's been here, and when Coach Allie got here. And yeah, that's what I got.
Sid?
The transition was a definite change for us, and it was beneficial. And then to see how far we've grown from the 4 years that I've been here, I can just see that it's just going to continue to grow, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
What does it mean to be part of a team that pivoted the program's history and found a lot of exciting success?
I thought it was cool because I thought each year we broke new records and we were just getting better and better. So it was cool to kind of see the transition of the whole program year by year.
And then Janae, what about you?
We wish that we could have broken more records before the time that we left, but it was nice getting the team to a certain point before we left. We definitely improved, I think, and helped the program get there.
What is one drill that you will not miss at all? So Erin, I'll start with you as the goalkeeper. What's a drill that you just won't miss?
Well, probably the O'Neill drill. I mean, for me being a goalkeeper, all the drills are pretty much the same, but I think the O'Neill drill was just something that our team struggled with regularly, and it was not something I enjoyed watching.
Sid, you have a different drill that you know you won't miss?
No, I'd have to say O'Neill drill. It was frustrating to be a part of, and also like watching when it wasn't our turn. It was something we couldn't like catch on to. Like towards the end we could, and like it was all about like believing in ourselves, and a lot of us have trouble doing that at certain points, but it's something I definitely won't miss.
Delaney?
I'm just gonna have to make it unanimous and go with O'Neill drill. Definitely. Last year and year before that, being a part of the midfield unit, going back and forth all the time in the middle, to this year being like just on the attacking side or just on the defensive side, like I all around every position not like it.
Ashley?
I would say O'Neill or partner passing on the move.
Okay.
Yeah.
Janae?
I didn't mind O'Neill, but I'd have to say partner passing on the move.
Gotcha. Delaney, how did this coaching staff help you become a player who is leaving their name in the record book with an all-conference title?
I mean, I always had a different coach every single year until Coach Hansen came along, and I kind of considered it a new change again when Coach Allie joined the next year. So having somebody there that's consistently there for me, and I can always call them up or text them with like a new run time and get super excited with it. Just trying out new drills with them and like getting a new perspective on how to play and how to adjust to somebody on the draw or adjust and improve any of my footwork. That definitely helped me become a part of the SSC, like second team, first team, all that. So I think just keeping them there, like always going, like even in the summer, I would text them all the time about everything when I was traveling overseas to play. So like no matter where they were always helping me. And I really love that, and that I could always follow on to them.
That's awesome. Aaron, similarly, how did this coaching staff and your teammates help you reach this 500 save milestone mark?
So I think that with the coaching staff, me and Coach Hansen, her warming me up every time, we were always able to have a unique relationship. And, you know, she was able to bring me up when I needed it and sometimes bring me down when I needed it. So I think that was something that was able to help my game a lot. And same thing with Coach Allie. Once she joined onto our team, she brought a definite a toughness to what our team needed. And I think that's something that it was able to bring us to success. And then my teammates, just helping me on and off the field, being able to go to them for whatever I needed and them coming to me whenever they needed something.
Is there a game that you remember most?
The game I remember most would be probably Florida Tech last year, even though that it didn't come out the way we would have liked to. I think that at the end of the day, that was one of the best games I played personally, and that was a game where I was able to just kind of see how our team, I don't know how to say it, but like how I don't really know how to say it, but that was a game that stuck out for me. It was one of the best games I played, and even though it didn't come out the way that we wanted it to, you know, coach still texted me at the end, and she was like, well, you played a good game, and that's something that was important to me. So.
Great. Sydney, do you have a game that you remember the most?
Definitely Mount Olive last year. Besides tackling Coach Allie, it just like we believed in ourselves, and like that was one of the toughest games that like everyone was bought into, and like just coming all together and believing in each other that we can accomplish this in double overtime. Like it made a turning point for the season to continue on and like believe that we can further our like success.
Delaney?
I would probably have to say the Embry-Riddle game that we played my junior year in 2019 season. I got a lot of jaw controls that I really don't know how they stuck in my stick, and I was just weaving in and out of people. But leading up to that game, we had a long break because it was the beginning of the SSC play, and I was kind of having a few rough days. Just coach knew I was like not in my headspace, and I really just needed that game to break out and like let everything loose. And I got a couple goals, and it was just all over the field with stats. So that was like just one of the best games that I felt personally. So every time like I needed to then bring that energy back, I would reflect back to that game.
Ashley?
To be honest, I don't have one game that I can really think of, but I would say recently the Carolinas would be the one that stuck out to me the most.
Okay. Janae?
I'd have to say our first game last year, I think it was my junior year, and I got like hit in the nose during warm-ups, and I like wasn't able to start for the first game, and I think that like fired me up. So I went out there and I had like the best game I could. So I think I'll always like remember that.
And what about the team that you liked playing the most? Janae?
I'd have to say Limestone, because we all didn't really think we were going to beat them, but I think it gave us all like a lot of confidence.
I said I agree with the Limestone game because I wasn't expecting to win either. So when we won, it was a good game.
Great. Delaney?
I would probably have to say Tampa or Southern, just because we always were seen as the underdog to them. And so I was really ready to play them this year and kind of show them what we had. Like, we had a lot of potential. So I still am very excited to play them all the time. And we always just had so much energy going into Tampa. I mean, they were our rival. They were so close to us. And so it was just really fun to kind of meet them there and play them soon. Next year, we got them.
And Sydney?
I have to say Embry-Riddle. They were ranked preseason above us, and that's kind of like gut check. Like, we obviously like have stuff to prove to them, and we always came out and proved it.
Aaron? I would have to say, well, the one game we played Lee and I got to score a goal. But other than that, I really liked playing Tampa too. I thought that they were always good competition for us, and you always want to play with the team that's supposed to be the best. So,
yeah. Next question: what is something that you learned at St. Leo that you will carry with you for the rest of your life? And we'll go from script order. So we'll start with Janae.
I think I learned that hard work goes a long way. You definitely have to go into practice like every day, like having a positive mindset and realizing that each day you can improve, and not to let things like get to you so easily, I think.
Ashley?
I would say like never settling, like to just keep working and keep doing better and beating other teams, and just never settling and just getting better every time you can.
I would have to be like from the very first practice that Coach Hansen stepped on foot was her always saying, play at a pace you can sustain. So I take that through literally every single day of my life. I always hear it from her, and I don't think I'm ever going to stop hearing it from her or just hearing it in the back of my head. So that's what I always take from it.
That's awesome. Sydney?
Probably that hard work pays off, and that never think that you're like lower than what you are. Like, think that you can do and accomplish something if you set your mind to it.
and I'm gonna say that you could always be better. You could always get better at what you're doing. There's never a chance that you're ever really gonna be at the top, but you can always strive for it.
Yeah. Coach Hansen, the next one's for you. What makes this group of 5 women so special? What roles have they played in the success of this program?
I'll answer that in 2 parts, because I think the role of, Ashley and Janae coming in as transfers has been different than the role of Sydney, Erin, and Delaney being there since I got here and before that. I think for, Sydney, Delaney, and Erin, what they've always brought since I've been here has been, they understand what it means to put on the uniform. They understand that it's important to get out there and to do better each time and to improve on every season and to make sure that, you know, they did want to graduate. They did want to have a career that could be remembered. I think that, you know, for them, they didn't win a ton of games their freshman season, and that was a motivating factor for them. So I think they brought the, I don't want to say like the baggage, but they brought the fuel for a lot of these games, having been there and it hadn't been a favorable turnout, or having been a close game, having been a team that we've always beaten, because I think that's something that does serve as a motivating factor for teams, especially young teams. So I think they really laid a groundwork for me as well. You know, they were sophomores when I got here. And I think that they definitely kind of guided the direction that we were going to go with the program. And then Ashley and Janae came in, and they didn't have any prior knowledge of the program or prior knowledge really even of the conference. And I think that was a blessing in some ways too, because they added in the, how do you play without any of that? How do you just play for the sake of playing? How do you go out there and play hard because that's just the way that you're supposed to play? And I think the mixing of those two brought us to the success that we found in the last 2 seasons.
Great, thanks. Coach Modica, before coaching some of these women, you played against them in SSC action. From competition to from your senior year to then coaching them for 3 seasons, how have these women developed and helped build a dangerous team?
I think it was really cool to see the senior class because I came in basically with Janae and Ashley. So we all sort of like were learning the ropes together. And then to have Erin, Sid, and Delaney be like my leader as well with Janae and Ashley to learn their culture, learn their traditions, I think was really cool. And to see the other side of them, because I do remember those 3 from when I played, they were just freshmen. So it's like really cool to see now their senior year and how they've developed and grown, and see the other side of it from being a competitor to now like on their sideline and cheering them on.
Great. Seniors, what advice would you give your teammates that aren't graduating, or those, I know, just in general, the lower classmen, what advice would you give them? Janae, we'll start with you.
I'd say don't take any day for granted, because clearly something can happen like this and you'll completely lose your season. Just go into practice every day like it's your last and make the most out of it.
I was going to say the same thing, just to never take anything for granted. Enjoy every moment you have. Like, don't complain. You only get to be in college for 4 years, so have fun while you're at it.
Mm-hmm. Delaney, some advice for
I would have to say to, again, like, take nothing for granted, especially just because it got pulled from us like super fast. But also just remember the little things and focus on the little things, because that's what did help build our culture from my freshman year, the first time I stepped on campus, all the way until now. So even if it's in the lift room or just traveling, us just having like team bonding, like focusing on our little things as a team to what Coach and Coach Allie kind of prefer and kind of going that way, or just being like in practice, focusing on helping somebody else too. If you notice they're doing something that's kind of funky, like helping them fix it, or asking somebody else if you're doing something weird, and just that way everything can just build up and continuously go up from there.
Sydney, some advice?
Don't settle at all. Like, always keep working for it. It's not always going to be handed to you. And always don't think of it in the worst case. Think of it as being best case.
I would say just appreciate every moment you have out there, especially with the coaching staff that we have. I'd say don't be afraid to fight back with Coach Hansen. And, just appreciate every moment that you have on that field, because you never know when it'll be taken from you.
The season obviously ended very short, but I think I'm very grateful that we had that trip to the Carolinas, because that was definitely some of my favorite memories, not just of this year, but of my time at St. Leo. Favorite memory not being the 13-hour bus trip with the cows that crowded the highway and sitting there for 3 hours. It started after that. But once we made it to North Carolina, I think, we did an escape room on that trip. And that was a lot of fun. Like, I don't regularly get to see the girls in that type of an environment, like a not lacrosse environment. And that was fun because they were all into that. 3 of the groups, not mine, were able to escape from their escape rooms. And so I think that it was fun to see them problem solve in a different way. And all of them came out of that laughing. So that was fun. And that led into our limestone game. And, leading up to the game, Sydney, Aaron, and Delaney were reflecting a lot on how the last time they were there, that game did not go so well for them. It was cold, it was snowy, and it wasn't a great result in the end. And so I think they really put that message out there, and they played with something to prove. And then Ashley and Janae, they have always been motivated by being able to make history and kind of write something in the record book. So I think them understanding that this is the first time that we could beat a top 15 ranked opponent. Limestone was ranked 13, I think, at the time, motivated those guys. And then all of a sudden everybody was pumped. And I think when we took that timeout I think they took the timeout after we were up like on a 6-goal run, which kind of came out of nowhere. You could just see on all their faces like, oh, wow, did we really just do that? And I think that was a really important step just for the program too, not just for the girls on the team right now. So I think for all of them, especially the seniors, to have that memory, it was definitely one that I think was, it certainly made the bus ride worth it, but I think it also was one that I'll definitely draw on when I think back to this group, because it's one of my favorite moments so far in my time at St. Leo.
I just want to say thank you to all the families that with the team, because when all the parents came and supported, that was so nice to get transferred into that. And I just want to thank all the teammates. Being a transfer, I was so nervous, but everyone made it so easy to get to know everyone, and it made my last 2 years very well.
I'll just have to say thank you to bringing new energy into our locker room. I mean, every time Liv and Carson and Sam Bell would go do their own thing up in the front corner, it always brought a smile to my face, because I would I'm always stuck in the corner. I was stuck there for 3 years. I kind of made it my little home now with Marissa and Mac there for the past 2 years with me. But just seeing all of the things that they would do, and it was just different from my freshman year, because we could actually fill a locker room now, and we were starting to run out of stools since they all started breaking. So just kind of having little quirky and funny moments just in there, from somebody falling on a stool. Sorry if that happened to you. Just to writing things just on our whiteboard and going crazy and hearing Liv just scream randomly. I loved that, and it always brought me to be more hype.
Okay, I'll just go off what they were saying. Just thank you to everybody for making, my college experience something unique, because not everyone gets to say that they played a sport in college. And I think that that's something that shaped my whole college experience. Going into that locker room was something that I loved doing every time we did it, even when we did it at 6 a.m. And I think that, that's something that not a lot of kids get to say. That's something that I'll always remember and appreciate.
Going off that, just thank you to my teammates and my family, my second family. I wouldn't be where I am today without all of you and who I am as a person. And just always remember we're always here. So
I just want to say thank you to you coaches too, and all my teammates. I also want to say to the team, don't forget what coach said about every time the lineup goes and your name gets called, really take that for granted, because I missed it already.
Thank you, ladies, for your time today, and thank you for helping build a legacy at St. Leo, and congratulations. Thank you to the St. Leo family that tuned in for today's virtual Women's Lacrosse Senior Day. Fans are a big part of what makes St. Leo a place where student athletes can love the person they become here. Stay tuned for our next Senior Day, when we bring you softball on May 2nd. For Brad B., Tim Simpson, and St. Leo Lacrosse Program, I'm Chrissy Lear. Thank you, and go Lions!
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah,
Okay, well, while everybody's here, I just kind of wanted to let you guys know before we go away that I spoke with Coach earlier last week, and I decided that I'm going to be taking the 5th year. So I'll see you guys.
Take the 5th year.